There we go. Hello, Sketchbook Heroes. Welcome to our class. It's already in progress. We are recording a little late, but we're drawing another fish scene. And we're looking at shapes. And I just happened to get this one a little bit out of proportion. I think I can still squeeze the head a little bit smaller. We show you what we have so far. For those of you just tuning in to our recorded. We have a shark and some crabs. And I am squeezing in our seahorse. All right, so I'm looking at the big shapes. I'm not worried about the details. Details go last. Seeing the head, I can actually make the head a little smaller. And actually, and while we're at this point, I usually don't go this dark. But let's see. I think I can squeeze it a little bit smaller. In that shape, noticing these little angles. This is a little more advanced drawing, especially than compared to our crab and shark. The shapes are more complex, but they're still shapes. They're still shapes. Rounded here. There's still angles. There's still ratios. It's still the same. It's just more complex. Get this eye in here. I'm just going to start up here, and then I'm going to continue all the way down. How's it looking? There we go. Make sure it's fitting on my screen. It's got these little ears almost. Huh. I don't think there's real ears. Horse ears. Little bumps. Two little bumps on the back. This detail now starting to put in. Yep, yep, yep. The reason you can't hear them is because they're a little hoarse. Huh. Bad joke that it's. I heard a dad joke. Or was it a bad joke? All right, so the flow of this has a nice flow from up here in the way that this flow, a flow of line. From here also the way the line flows from this back part comes down here. And try to get this is a good exercise on the thickness of a line and the thickness of a shape and parallel lines. This is a good exercise. Trying to capture that flow and parallel lines from here down. Yeah, definitely the tail would be longer. I'm gonna make it longer. I'm gonna go over the our crab a little bit. Do a little bit of overlapping. It is just a sketch. Don't have to always, if I were to draw it again, I'd plan it a little bit differently. Thought I had it planned. Things don't always go as planned. That's okay. Better to have it in proportions. I'm gonna do it over. And it's just practice, and that's what practice is. It doesn't have to be perfect. Sometimes we want it perfect. They're like, oh, that's okay. A little bit of overlapping over the crab. There we go. Especially this seahorses. Got a lot of little details. I'm shooting for a little more accuracy. And there's a little bit of a shadow here on the tail. A little bit of shadow on the tail. This way. A little fin back here, a little fin. Seahorse can actually swim backwards. It's got this shape here, this like fan shape. I would say it's like this. If I were to simplify it, there it is, this like this. And then see, it's like a half circle. These circular, see these circular shapes going out that way. And then I would do this breakup part. Then I can curve it here. This curves. More like this. It's almost like webbed. Well, it is webbed. Let's say webbed, a webbed foot of a duck, which I've drawn as well. A little bit of shading. There we go. And then here, it looks like it has some kind of shell. This little detail, and it's the detail that goes last, that goes on top of here, that makes it look wow, you know. But you got to see this big shape here. I'm going a little dark with it, so you can see it. But then on top of that, then I would do the little shells or the little scales. That's what I was thinking. The little scale shapes that kind of go along that shape of our seahorse. This is a level 2 or level 3 drawing. So if you know you're struggling with it, that's okay. And that's actually great. You're taking on the challenge. You're taking the struggle. The struggle's real. There you go. Yeah, it doesn't matter, you know, that, and I've said this quote in the past, you know, it's about problem solving. It's figuring out the problem, figuring out the drawing, and each drawing will pose a different problem. But once you figure out the problems, then you can do it. It's like, oh, okay, it's not a problem. It's actually pretty straightforward. The drawing is pretty straightforward, but you know, the little problems will stop you. And then once you figure out the problems, you figure out like, oh, okay, this is how you do it. This is how I would do it. And don't let those little problems stop you. Usually it's ratios, angles, proportions. Those are some of the major ones I see people struggling with. So RAP was born to just help you get started. The next level would be shading and all that stuff. That's the next level. Still working on that. Bring shading and color and bring things more to life. So there's quite a bit of there's a core shadow behind this tail, which is, they understand shading. So there's this like core shadow that goes up and behind that makes it look more real. And then there's a little bit of a light behind it, which gives it more form, reflected light. There's like this core shadow that goes up it. And then there's a lot of little shading. Even here, another core shadow like actually comes up this way. Slight shade in here. Each one of these is slightly shaded to give it some form. Do that just really quickly. Feel free to add bubbles. Feel free to add baby seahorses. Or maybe a horse race. The only limitation is your imagination. And proportions look pretty good, except my tail. A little short. And you can go back in here now and maybe there. They're placing bets on the horses. Mine, that would be funny. Now there's a story. It's actually a horse race with the seahorses. And I can put little bubbles. That's funny. And he's a shark. He's an actual shark. But he's smiling too, placing a bet. There's our story. I knew a story would come out of here. All right, that's it. So we'll give you 5 minutes. I guess I'll spend 5 minutes adding little details. Oh no, yeah, that's what I wanted to do. Do another octopus. Oh, actually, it would be nice to add details at starfish here and really make out my scene. But there was a request, so I'm gonna not do my scene and actually draw an octopi with a soccer ball, just for fun. See how it turns out. Little details. See, I do my star, little shell. Draw a shell in there. This shell is really nice. That's a nice shell. Notice it's a shape. Notice the shape. It's just that shape, and then notice how it's broken up. And then the little Shell gas station. Just real quick sketch. Fun. All right, let's do that octopus. octopi. 5 minutes, and then we'll share if you'd like to share up. 5 minutes, 5 minutes or so. Yeah, here we go. Let me see. Oh, so we're talking about a logo. We're talking about, and this would be different. So I would really go actually with markers. Let me sketch it out first. Let's sketch it out in pencil. So let's see. That's how. This is how actually. This is a good little tip on how I would do a logo. Let me take a drink before I get started of water. So I'm thinking my pencil. I don't know my pencil there. Oh, here's one. Orange one. All right. So to keep it simple and especially for kids, I guess we're gonna do a circle for the head, and then I can see the circle for the ball. And let's zoom out a little bit. Oops, out. I said out. So the circle for the head, circle for the ball. This is I would just think, and then for an octopus, and then I definitely would have the hand. I can see the hand with the tentacles kind of like over that soccer ball, and kind of like curving around, maybe like grabbing it like that. See, so that's, and then here going up to that octopi. See overlapping and how everything fits and really making kid friendly. So I would probably do some eyes here, and then maybe it looking this way. See, there we go. And then maybe another tentacle. We'll see. Maybe another tentacle here coming out this way, like he's got the ball. Oh, you can't use your hands. That's the irony. The octopus has 8 tentacles or hands, and he can only use his head. That's funny. Let's see, we're gonna have to bring some. There's gonna be some main ones because 8 is a lot, so we want to try to simplify. There's gonna be some main tentacles, and let's see what. Oh no, yeah, I don't like that one. And this is where I would do some research. I've drawn octopus before, octopi before. Put a little bit of a smile on them. Actually, let's put a bigger smile. And then soccer. That's an interesting shape too. The soccer ball. And this is where, again, I would do more research. I've drawn soccer balls. But, it's best to do the research. This is just going to be a quick sketch. Maybe we should look it up. Let's see, soccer ball. Soccer. Oh, or should I say football? Football. Goal. Here we go. All right. Oh, there it is. Okay. Ah, yes, it's a pentagon. Pentagon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, pentagon. Actually, this could be it right here. This would be. Should I get marker now? Let's finish this up. Let me look up octopus. So maybe octopus, drawing. Let me borrow some. There we go. Ooh, look at that one. Ooh, there's quite a few. Oh, that one's menacing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, look at those tentacles. Yeah, no. A lot. Wow, you get all kinds. Yeah, this is where I would probably talk to my client and think about, well, how do you want it to look? And then share these drawings here and say, okay, we can make it look realistic. We can make it cartoony. Yeah. And then from here, I think it's marker time. Let's get a marker. Marker time. We're gonna go with a Sharpie too. Let's go with some Sharpies. And then just color it in real quick. And then we'll share it. Let's see. So here we go. Get out the way. This eye's a little bigger because it's closer. Let's see. Little bubble lip. And then the little tentacles. There we go. Yeah, definitely. This is a lot different from the one we drew last week. Yeah, this is just a first go. This is just an idea. See how I'm going around that shape that I drew, that circular shape. A little bit of an eyebrow gives it character or an expression. Like, hey, you can add another leg in here. Maybe another one back here. Now that we've got our main ones in. This one. Some tentacles. All right, I think, do we have anybody that would like to share their underwater scene while I'm finishing this up? Just raise your hand. And if you're ready to share. And here's where I would thicken up lines. I would probably add a thicker line back here. If it was, especially if it was like a logo, to have thick lines, really make things stand out. It's just a quick sketch. Yeah, to actually ink this out and really make it more, oh, where's my ball? Make it more like an actual logo would be more work. Usually just do a quick sketch first and from there you get the idea. And you build it. You really have to build it. You really have to kind of like, okay, this didn't work. I'm gonna have to change this. I like that. I don't like this. That you know, play with it until you get it. Just doesn't happen. It looks like magic, but there's work behind the magic. There's definitely work. And this is the work. This would be just one idea. And then I would probably do more research too. More research and try to simplify. But yeah, it's not bad for a quick drawing. All right, we have some hands. We have some hands. I see Taylor, but you have to show your video first. I think you might have had your hand up first. But I need to, oh, there you go. There's your video. There we go. There we go. All right. Hey, Taylor, good to see you. Haven't seen you. I didn't miss you. Good to see you.
It's been a while. Thanks for having me, even though I was late today.
Oh, it's all good.
Yeah, I came in a little bit late, but I was able to catch up on some of these drawings.
Oh, great. Yeah. Well, there you are.
I like this octopus.
Uh-huh.
I like that. I didn't get to finish it because we only saw it for a second, but
Yeah. That was last week's octopus.
yeah, I missed it.
There's a video. The video's there, but yeah, that's good.
Okay.
That's good.
The crabs were fun.
Yeah.
And there's
oh, you did that one too. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And
And
you
my
got some, The seahorse. Yeah, you got the detail on there. Fantastic. Thank you for sharing. Awesome. All right, Judy, let's go with Judy. Let's see. Fun, fun, fun. Oh, look at you, your whole scene. Oh, wow. Oh, you got some different fish in there. Nice. Oh, deep sea. Everything's at the bottom. Fantastic.
It was fun.
Great. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Look at all your rocks. Wow.
I had to anchor everything.
Love to see the kelp, Taylor says. Great job, Taylor. All right, from Lise. Fantastic. All right, thank you for sharing. JG, do you have your video? All right, wait a minute. I think, well, close up on me. There we go. All right, there you go. What you got? Wow, look at that turtle. Hi, Lola. You got story? What is that? What is that? Sea monkey?
You know what? I'm not really sure what it is. It was like a very quick jellyfish,
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I see the jellyfish now. Yeah, okay.
but I'm just noticing that the text on my, the screen, it's like reverse. But
No, it's
basically
not.
the
It's not
turtle-
reversed for us. It's not
Oh,
reversed.
cool. Yeah. So the turtle's just trying to figure out which language it's speaking, like English,
Ah.
Spanish, or Tagalog.
Hola, I see. Great. Fantastic. Great. You got story. Nice. Congrats. Thank you for sharing. All right, Yelena, what you got? Let's see. Other turtle JG, somebody said. There we go. Oh, wow, you got color.
Yeah, it just I don't know what it's just
Very nice.
I enjoy it.
Very fun. Thank you for sharing, Yelena.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Regina, what you got? Good to see you.
Hi, Ladia.
Hello.
Hi. Sign this.
All
Oh,
right.
wow.
I have the scared
Wow.
jellyfish. And the octopus logo was fun to work on.
That's great. Yeah, it looks like you have actually, I see a lot of action there. He's like almost running with the ball. That's cool.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. Oh, thank you for sharing. Good to see you. All right. We got Callie. Oh no, we got Judy. Judy, I think Judy, did you share already? I see your hand up. I think it's Callie. Let's go with Callie. You got your video going. So there we go. Ah, wow. Very bold. First time, long time? First time sharing. Yeah, this is, you got a little lipstick on the crab. Nice.
Got some eyelashes too.
Yeah, yeah. Little story. What's your story? Do you have a story for your ocean scene?
No, just maybe they're having a good day. Happy day.
Happy ocean day. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I like it. Little
Nice.
jellyfish with the ball.
Yeah, they're all happy.
So cute.
All right. Thank you for sharing, Kelly.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Anybody else? Elise, here we go. We got Elise. Elise in the house. There we go.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
So I try to make them look like they're fighting over a donut from a fishing hook. Yeah, and then I did a separate on the jelly or on the seahorse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
that was cool. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And then thank you for sharing. Yelena?
Oh, I did.
Oh,
I
you
did.
shared already. Yeah, I thought you did.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank
your
you.
hand's up. Let me lower your hand.
Look.
And that's it. We got 5 minutes. Good. We're doing good with time. All right. Thank you, everyone. Kelly Roberts says, and thank you, everyone, for sharing. Had fun. That was fun. That was fun. All right. Now we're going to go into watercolor. So we'll take a little break. I need to get a little bit of water for the watercolor, and then we will be going with the water. Oh, my paper in the back. I had to get out paper. I don't know. Somebody was printing. I think my son. He's the only one that comes in here other than myself. All right, well, so get our watercolors ready. We'll finish up our watercolor painting. If you're here just for the drawing, thank you for joining us. Have a great week, a wonderful week. Practice your drawing, even if it's just 5 minutes, even if it's just, practicing circles or whatever it is, you got to practice, practice, practice. The more you practice, the more you progress. And that was our focus for the day. It's just about practice. All right. Thank you so much. Oh, you're welcome, Gordon. Here we go. Let's get ready for watercolors in about a minute. Let's see. Pause my. Here we go. So the painting was washed out from last week. I had to bring some of the darks, which I just did. Some of this area in here can be a little bit darker. Well, actually, yeah. But I'm focusing on these dark greens, these dark shapes and patterns and ripples. Just get the feel of it. Oh, I actually did see the movie Van Gogh. There's like 3 or 4 of them. The first one I ever saw was Lust for Life. That was a really good one with Kirk Douglas, I believe. And then there's a couple other ones. There was the one that was actually painted. Each frame was hand painted. That was a really interesting one. That one was called, what was that one called? Loving, I don't know, something.
Vincent.
What's that?
Loving Vincent.
Loving Vincent. Yeah, there you go. That's what it's called.
Really cool.
Yeah, that was really cool. Each frame was hand painted. And then there was, there was 2 other ones. 2 other ones, and the one I saw last night was one of the newer ones. It was with what's his name? He was in one of the Spider-Man. It was pretty good. It was pretty good, and it was interesting. Yeah, Van Gogh. I know I had a my art history teacher, Van Gogh. She always pronounce it really strong. It's an interesting life story. He cut off his ear because he was hearing voices. Sent it to his. I would say to my students, he sent it to his girlfriend. He sent it ear mail. All right. So I'm gonna go a little bit. I'm gonna bring some of this dark in here. So I once I put my darks in, I can see that this area in here, some of this areas, I can probably make a little bit darker, slightly darker. And you will get a wet into wet if you're not careful. And wet into wet means it's just bleeding. It softens up edges, which is fine for this watercolor of water. I do have a lot of soft edges. I'm just bringing some of the darks back in. Some of these patterns that I kind of missed. That looks good. I think that's good enough. All right, let's go with the ores. Oh, I think I went into my ore area a little bit here. Oh, wait, so. Yeah, it's interesting. Well, the story goes that he had shot himself. This is what I learned in college, that he shot himself and it took him 2 days to die. But it turns out that there's evidence that he was probably shot by some boys. In this last movie, actually, they go into that. And some of the drawings too, in the movie, it goes into some of the drawings that were found also of some of his work. Really great work. I was really inspired when I saw his work back in the 90s. I think they had a show at LACMA, LA County Museum of Art. And 1 month they had Van Gogh, and I was like, wow, I was totally blown away by the work, the vibrancy of the colors. And I was like, whoa. And then Picasso was the next month, and I was like, oh man, if I really like Van Gogh, I was gonna love Picasso, because Picasso, you hear about Picasso. And then when I saw his work, I was like, oh, okay. It's more conceptual, more ideas, You know, the vibrancy of colors wasn't there. So I was like, oh, almost let down, but it was good too. It's fun stuff. I was just there actually. I was just at the LA County Museum. Oh, actually, I was there this was on Sunday. I have some pictures. Let's see. Oh, I do have watercolor pictures actually. I was thinking of you guys. The guys and gals, or ladies and gentlemen. I was thinking of you. Let me see here. Just take some pictures today. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there was this water painting. It actually had ripples in it. Oh gosh, something's wrong with my camera. It's not clear. Oh, there it is. As you can see the ripples of the water. This painting was amazing. So if you look at that, I'm in it. So I'm there so you can see the scale. See the scale of the painting. And you can see the ripples. This is done with acrylics. Actually, it was acrylics. I took a picture of the there it is. Collaterals, the space in which we travel. Acrylic on canvas. Collaterals. Yeah. It's amazing. Yeah, see that close up now. It's the ripples, the patterns. And this would be great with watercolor. You can see that the soft, really soft edges and the sharp edges and the ripples, really interesting patterns. And then from a distance, yeah. There you go. I was thinking of you guys. I was at the museum. I want to see if I have any other. I think I had some other pictures. Oh yeah, they had a Diego Rivera picture painting. I just lost it. Is it upside down? Oh yeah, there was a lot of these giant heads for they're the Chinese calendar animals. Let me see. Oh, this is the little cars that they have. Yeah, it's been there. I got videos. Oh, this was really interesting. This artist, they had a whole floor of her work, and there were sketches. She had a lot of sketches of these little characters and all these sketches on the floor. It was actually a room. Really interesting work. Oh, Georgia O'Keeffe, one of my favorite artists. She's amazing. I love her work. Yelena, you should look into her work.
Yeah, look at that.
You know her, who she is?
Nope.
Georgia O'Keeffe. Oh my gosh, Georgia O'Keeffe. You're gonna love her work. You gotta see it. I'll type it in the
Let me write down.
yeah, Georgia O'Keeffe. And they have a painting by Frida Kahlo, which is one of the reasons we went there. This is one of her paintings, Frida Kahlo.
Oh, okay.
At the LA County. And this is Diego Rivera was next there. Let me put it, Georgia O'Keeffe. Let me see, Georgia.
Yeah.
I think you'll like her work. She's from New Mexico, Georgia O'Keeffe.
By the way, yesterday I spent from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. in the National Gallery of Art.
What? Wow.
Yeah, I had a picture. I took a picture of myself. I was just myself and Rembrandt. Nobody around. 10 o'clock.
Wow.
It was so cool. Yeah.
It's like fun.
Yeah, we have meetup club there this afternoon, but it's in the morning.
Uh-huh.
Really cool.
Wow. Okay, so let's see. Do I have my spotlight? I don't know, it's on here. Let's see. There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to get the shadows. Well, let's see. I'm trying to think of I'm happy with the background. I usually go from one area to another area. So I'm happy with that background. I kind of looking at it, looking back and forth, compare and contrast, higher level thinking, see how is it the same, how is it different. I can probably go a little bit darker in here if I wanted to. Probably some of this, I can actually even bring some of this shade color out with watercolors is interesting. Just bring it out and darken up this area. You can go darker, but going lighter is a little bit harder. So I can actually get some color here and overlap. See, make it these areas a little bit darker if I wanted to. And you can slowly build up color by doing these layers. Slowly build up the color. It's not like, yeah. All right, so I'm actually pretty happy with that. Let's see. Let's do this ore. Let's start with the orange ore. Rinse out my brush. Get my orange. This is a really bright orange. I'm going to mix it with a little bit of red. It's going to be a mixture of it's more of like a red orange. So let's get the orange and then the red. Try to match it. And we can do a color map. We can talk about color maps and actually get more accuracy with our color. There is a little bit of a lip over that edge. So I would probably try to stay away from it. Let me test my color here first. That's pretty good. I like that nice bright. It's actually pretty close if I touch it. It's a little darker, but it's good. It's a little more intense. But we want our colors to be vibrant too, so it's good to deviate. All right, so I'm going to go in here. I'm going to keep a little bit of my top, which I just lost. Keep some of that white. You can always tone it down later. And then I'll go back in here. Try to do it in one pass so it's nice and solid. Get this shape. Make sure your background is dry. If it's not dry, you're going to get wet into wet. I know I didn't put anything that was wet. It'll bleed. That's the thing with watercolors. They'll bleed into. You'll get wet into wet technique, unwanted wet into wet. This bottom ore color kind of goes in a little bit deeper. I'm going to go ahead and color it in. And then on top, I'll go dark. I'll go with my dark afterwards once it's dry and do a wet on dry color technique for that other part of the ore. Went over the watercolor a little bit of the water, and there's a little bit of it makes a dark edge, which is fine because it does look dark on that edge right there. Try to bring it out. Yeah, right at the edge is a little bit dark on this side. And actually, I would probably can overlap a little bit to get some of that dark edge. There's a light edge on top. See that? I kept that light edge up there. Just these little small details. All right, there's that. Or rinse out the brush. I'm going to use yellow here and get this other ore in there. Start off with yellow. Just go in there with the yellow. On the bright side, it's all right. That's intensity. So we're talking about Van Gogh. It's good to look at other people's work and even copy. Copying is really good. And then modifying and making it your own. Say, okay, you know, we're just straight copying, which is fine. Some people, you know, especially when you're learning, you can call them studies. It's a study. Oh, you copied that? No, yeah, I studied it. It's a study. I know that it's funny. I have to arm everybody with words. So because people talk, they say, "Oh, you copied that?" Yeah, I studied it. It's a study. I'm like, oh, okay, it's a study. You know, you have to educate the ignorance. Because everybody has an opinion, like, okay, yeah, I know copying and copying is okay. It is. It's studying. It's using references. You got to make it your own. I love what Picasso says. Good artist copy, great artist steal. So yeah. It's like the octopus, you know, you're drawing a lot of octopus. I'm not the first one to, you know, do a, it's other people have done octopuses. So it's, you know, making it your own. All right, let's see. Let's get that orange in there. I'm gonna try to wait for that to dry a little bit. Let's see. Oh yeah, it looks good. Oops, oops. O'Keefe. Yeah. Yeah, with the little accent over the O. Thank you, Lise. Oops, oops. Okay, love O'Keefe. Yeah, she's amazing. Yeah, actually, I'm surprised. I really, I don't think I've ever copied any of her work. I just loved it. That's interesting. I know I've copied Norman Rockwell's work. I've copied a lot of other people's work, but that I've liked. But O'Keefe is one that I've never copied, and that piece is a really nice piece. It's really soft. The skull one, and the colors she uses. So why I want to travel and visit Santa Fe, New Mexico. She was married to a photographer for a while, Stieglitz.
Oh. Oh, in St. Petersburg, and I think it is Stieglitz. He founded Academy
In New York?
Design in the St. Petersburg, Russia.
Oh, really?
They still, it used to be when the communist era, it was different name, but now it's a Stieglitz Academy, I believe. Yeah.
Nice.
Design, technical design. And
so I got some of the orange. This yellow is pretty much dry. I kind of waited a little bit. I'm going to put this same orange under this. It's going to capture just really thin. And then I'm going to go thick and keep some of the light, that light top. Thin it out. And then it goes from thin to thick. Right in there. Something like that. Let me zoom in so you can see. There we go. Colors are looking nice and vibrant on my screen up there. And they're nice and vibrant here. There's a nice contrast. And that's where you get really nice contrast of a cool background, which cool colors, and then your warm colors. These warm ores. And you can always crop it, you know, if you want to frame it or redo it, make it your own. Okay, I like this. I'm going to change the angles and look for different water. All right, let's see. Let's get some darks. Okay, so I'm going to mix a little more red and a little bit of blue into my orange that I had. Just a little bit of blue, or maybe even a little bit of black. I don't know. Let's see, just a darken it up, and then get that dark part of that ore in here now. This takes. I'm holding my hand on my paper to give me a nice steady, because it's hard. So some people I can't draw a straight line, and you know they're trying to draw it like up in the air, like they're floating. You want to rest your hand, and then pull your whole arm, and that helps make a straighter line. You pull instead of using your wrist. The wrist you'll get a rounded or a curved line. Here you want to pull your arm. Water. There you go. Darker. All I did was add a little more red, a little more blue. Just little touches. All right, let's do the rest of the ore. I'm gonna rinse out my brush. I'm thinking I'm gonna use mostly blue, a little bit of red in it. So I already have that. So just blue with a little bit of red to gray it up. The little bit of red will gray it up, especially if it's that orangish red. Okay, we'll gray it up. Let's see. I can test it. There it goes. It looks pretty dark. I don't want to do it here yet. I'm gonna get bleeding. I have to wait for that to dry. Go back down here, do it down here. And put it kind of light. Let me see. Yeah, that's good. It's a good light. This bottom half of the ore. Like that, straight across. Let's do the top one. All right, sketchbook heroes, hardcore heroes hanging out. The second hour. There's a shadow. I've been this past year I did some real studying of lights and darks, and I always used to do my shadows really soft, but I've actually came across a video that delineated the difference between light and dark a little bit more. So I started doing that with my work. Or at least in my head. All right, so there's one shade of shadow, and then I'm going to put in a core shadow, which goes darker. So there's that. And actually, up here goes darker. Let's see, where am I stick that dark up here? Because this other half is darker. It's all good. All right, let's go a little darker. Maybe add a little bit of black. I try to stay away from black. I use it almost as an accent. Try to go into the blues. The black can deaden a painting. You don't use it right. Try to throw some blue in there, a little bit of red. There we go. This is going to be a little bit darker. I'm gonna wait for that to dry. I can actually use it as a shadow here. Ooh, let me lighten it up. I'm gonna use that same, just more water. Just put another, I just put with a lot more water. I used another little egg crevice. Those look like crevices. And this is a lot of water. So I'm gonna use one little stroke here for the shadow as it comes up. Whoa, went on too much. Don't rinse that out, clean it up. I didn't test it. So I'm trying my brush out, I cleaned it up, and I'm going to use it like a sponge to kind of like soak up some of this. It's going to be a thick shadow, it's all right. Soak up some of the color. Here, let me see, where's my reference material? Oh, it is thin. Goes from thin to thick. That's all right. What's beautiful about watercolor, and it shows right here really nicely, that the color from underneath really shows through. So you can see the greens underneath our shadow, just like a shadow would. I'm gonna see if I can thin this out a little bit because it goes thin as it turns.
Claudia, why is that shadow in the picture green? It's like a reflection of green bouncing off the bottom of the ore.
Which one here? This shadow?
The picture. Yeah, the one you're doing.
Oh, why is it like here? This shadow here of this ore?
No, on the boat. The one you're just doing.
This one here? There's the boat has a little bit of green, which I made it darker.
Okay, and I think the picture that I downloaded, it just, for some reason, it's just reflecting a really heavy green on there, but that
Oh,
looks,
really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is. Actually, yeah.
Did you see it too, Elena?
Yep. And the green shadow on the boat itself, on the very bottom, on the right corner. Yeah, I think it is reflection, could be.
But I think it looks much better, the darker color, the grayish.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I put it in gray.
that's great. Yeah, you got to use your judgment, and so that's where start building your taste and start building. Oh, okay, I like that, but I would rather do this, or you start making these decisions and choices that just plus your work. All right, so there's our shadow, and it would probably cut off somewhere here. So I did actually extend it. I'm gonna go darker and bring that color that I used here, same color, to put a core shadow on my ore. Now that I spent some time away from it, it's dry. Check it real quick. I'm gonna go in here and a little bit of a core shadow, just darker. There we go. There's a little bit of a lip or something there. Let's go with the bottom one. Same thing, a little bit less. So there's two tones. You have the first gray and then this dark gray. Just gonna go back here. A little bit of a lip. I think that's just a little. There we go.
It's funny because those are the things so the water doesn't come back on your arms,
Yeah.
And even when I go and I rent kayaks and
Ah,
you can see that they're not the same distance to the top. And just because the person that used them last, they moved. So
there you go. Speaking from experience. Keep water from rising. I think, let's see, how can we plus this? I think I can still put in some more work in here, but I think that's just defining some areas. I would probably go in there and do that. I'll probably do that. I don't see much other stuff. Let's wash out a little bit. Let me zoom out so you can see what I've got so far. There we go. That looks pretty good. It is washed out a little bit. Blue. Can't actually get this soft brush here. I'm going to darken all this up with this light green in here, just to put some color in here. I'm gonna I mixed this light kind of like lemon dark green with a little bit of blue in it. It's mostly water. I'm taking a risk, but I want to push this back a little bit. This whole is a little bit too light for me. So I'm gonna just wash over this whole area with this light green, push everything back a little bit, a little more contrast. And probably add more water as it comes down. Just pushing it back a little bit. Let's make it a little greener. A little bit of color. I'm gonna actually even back here too, push that back. Use some of that gray that we had, a little more water, and push this boat back. Actually add a little bit of a shadow. Ooh, it was wet right there from the shadow of the ore. So try to save it with my brush. Just bring it, soften it up. There. That's it. Ta-da. Let's see, what time is it? All right, we got like some more time. Thanks for the class. This was fun. I'm enjoying seeing the watercolors. See you next week. All right, Kelly Roberts. That was at 8:32. 2 minutes ago.
Done.
Yeah, it's just,
Thank you.
Yelena, did you want to share? All right, cool. Let's take a look. I see your hand up. Let me,
Yeah, it is not.
there we go. Ah, there you go. Nice. Oh, yeah, yeah, you got your,
Nice. It's so good.
cool.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone.
welcome.
Thank you, Ladio, and it's 11:26.
Oh, yeah. You are hardcore.
Good night.
Night.
Thank you so much.
Night.
See you next
Thank you for sharing.
Thursday. Thank
Good
you.
night. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a great and safe week.
Yes.
Mhm. So important.
Okay, bye-bye, Yelena. See you next week. All right, let's see. Watercolors, watercolors. We can do, oh, yeah, she got some nice Yelena's ocean scenes. I'm going to, yeah. We'll do a little quick scene. It's just out of my mind. Here, let's see.
Claudia, were you happy with the little wash that you put over it with your flat brush, the yellowish green?
Oh, yellow screen. Am I happy with it? Yeah, it added some more contrast, kind of pushed it back a little bit. I would probably it needs a little more contrast somehow, but it's all right. Yeah, it's hard to see on that camera. But yeah, I pushed it back a little bit. Gives it a little more depth, especially it's darker up there, then it comes lighter as it comes down this way. So there's a little bit of a larger kind of thing happening.
I have to learn to leave a lot more white in mine, because here's.
Mm.
let me
Oh,
see.
did you go dark? Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Oh, let me spotlight you. Hold on just a second. There you go. Oh, there you go. Oh, okay.
Oh, that looks good.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I like leaving more white in yours. So maybe if I put that on there, it would pick up some of the, I don't know.
Yeah, it's playing with it's values, playing with values too. Like I said earlier, you know, just try one where you're just doing lights and darks. I think this next one, that's what we'll do with this next one. This next one, it'll be really quick. It'll be really quick and we'll do lights and darks. Let me get some paper. I can move my stuff around here. I'll use this one. I'll use this one. Page from here. This picture's good.
Lisa, did you wash yours with the yellow or greenish all over your background?
Ooh,
Lisa. or
yes.
Elise.
It was really light, the one that I did.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I should have waited on the oars because I did it all kind of up to the oar and I didn't use the white as much. I tried to get a few like lighter washes, and then I tried to use more of the red like how you did with the shadowing. So sorry, I should have waited.
No, that's fine. It looks like your water's sparkling with the white that you have around there. It looks really nice.
Okay, good. I like how, so are you gonna leave that top oar where the oar's down the middle on that one part? Are you gonna leave that actually white?
Which part? Like the
On your-
shadow?
You know, like
Oh, up
how
here?
you have on the top
Oh,
oar.
oh,
Are you gonna leave that white?
oh, yeah. No, I can go in there. Well, actually, it's pretty
It looks
bright.
cool. It looks really cool white. And I'm like, oh, I should have waited.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got because the light's actually hitting that top part. I
Right.
would probably I can probably bring it in a little bit, but no, I would keep it kind of really light. And right now it's white,
Yeah.
but I can just with a wet brush bring some of the orange down and just slightly soften it a little bit. But yeah, I would keep it white because in the picture it is pretty bright white. Where's the picture? Yeah, let's see. Right in there. Yeah. All right, let's do a quick one. All right, watch how quick we can do this with a big brush. All right, so I'm just gonna get blue. We're gonna do our sky watercolors. Let's see. So and just straight across right here. Brush it all the way up. Just water. I'm just mostly water. It's a little brown, but I'm going to grab the blue and then go from the top down. Let's see if there's blue here and go from the top. And it's pretty dark, but then I'm going to, as it comes, I just clean my brush out because I saw how dark it was. So now again, it's just mostly water. I'm going to just soften that up and bring it down and just kind of go back and forth as it brings down. And then that's it. Leave it alone. Just try to soften it up as it comes down. There. And this is the hardest thing for students to catch is gradients, how things slowly change from one color to another color. So when you're learning, getting gradients and practicing gradients, and that's wet into wet, just putting a little more water in there, softening it up if you need to, without rubbing the paper too much. Let's see my blue in here. I have to have a lighter blue. Let me see my other set. Here it is. Well, this one, I think the colors are a little more intense. Yeah, I like this blue. So, oh yeah, it's a nicer blue. Oh yeah, that's the difference. It's really strong, but it's more intense. Now I'm getting too much water. That's it. Now it's just a waiting game. You can actually get some really nice, if you're playing with it, play with watercolors. I'm gonna, while this one's drying. Oh no, I ripped into my paper a little bit. Playing with it while that one's drying. I really like that blue. So I'm gonna do water again. And this time maybe add some clouds just for the fun of it, play with it. Clouds are a little more challenging. But here's this blue, is a lot more intense. Yeah, you see there we go, look at that intensity. But you can see how, yeah, you get some of that softness, bleeding too much. It's controlling the, there we go. So you can see how it's getting some really nice wet into wet technique in there. Some clouds. Sharper edges. And then down here, a little bit of mixing a little bit of red to it. And then just putting it down here so it's at a distance. Just a little bit. And then I'm gonna clean out my brush and just mostly water, just soften all this up, just mostly water. I put a little bit of red with the blue and then just softening all this up as it goes up. Yeah. Try to keep the white as well though. Soften some of this up. There we go. Yeah, see those clouds. Yeah. Yeah. Love you. Yeah, go a little darker. Yeah, it's playing with the wet into wet and seeing how it, wow, it's some really nice stuff in there. Let me see if I zoom in, I can see what's going on. Just in there, just like little puffiness. I can probably get more form in there, but I'm just playing around just for time's sake while the other page dries. It's good to kind of experiment and play with it. I put a little bit of red. I could probably even put a little bit of yellow, like a sunset. But being really careful without getting green, that's the hardest. No green. Yeah, because blue, sky's blue, and then you're putting sunsets. Yeah, it takes a little more planning. Orange. So orange will kill some of the green. Actually, probably put orange more. Yeah, that would do it. It's a little bit of a sunset. Soften it up with just water. All right, I think, is this one dry yet? No, it's still. It's washing out over there. Yeah, I really like these clouds in here. That's what I like about acrylics is you can always paint things out. With watercolors, it's like, okay, they're a little more. You can start over with acrylics. You can actually paint the whole thing white and start over. Watercolors is not as forgiving. Let's see. Actually, what we can do is I can start doing my ground, my water. So all I'm going to do is some water from bottom up, and then some mountains in the background. So it's going to go from dark to light. So this plane of water is going to go from dark to light, and then we'll do some waves and ripples, and then call it a night. Let's see. And some mountains, a mountain range. Use my big brush. Very similar to the sky. Probably a little more intense. Well, no, we're going to build it up. We have to build it up. So it'll probably be as intense as the sky. The sky's pretty light. And then we're going to go a little bit darker afterwards with our waves and stuff like that. So I'm going to go starting just with water, staying away from that center part. We can probably try to get really close and then just bring it down. Add a little bit of blue as it comes down. A little more blue. This blue is more intense. So you have wet into wet, wet on dry, and then you have dry brush, which we'll be doing a little bit of dry brush today. We'll do a little bit of dry brush. These are different techniques. Sometimes you do it on accident. Dry brush is good for the background, actually. For some of these little, it's good for grain, like on a wood, pieces of wood. Let's see some here. Some of the grain I can actually, the waves. Instead of drawing each wave, just let your brush kind of do the work. So I'm going from dark to light, darker down here. That's a little bit of dry brush. You can see the dry brush texture. It's really nice to play with. See that dry brush.
Eladio, could you put your paper up a little more so we could see what you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Closer to it. Let me is that good?
Yep, that's good. Thanks.
Spotlight. All right, there we go. And usually you can tape your stuff down, but when you first, I know I would use thicker paper. It's actually, it goes by pound, heavyweight paper for watercolors, and then you would tape it down so you wouldn't get these wrinkles. If you're just doing it for fun or really quick, or if your paper is really thick, this one's a little thick. It's more drawing paper than watercolor paper. Let's see. You can go off the edge, kind of stopping before the edge. Wait for that to dry up a little bit. Still kind of see the sky up there. Let's go back over here. Let's try it over here. Well, that's dry. Go back to this one. A little more colorful. A little more oranges. Yeah, just there's a little bit of green in there. It's all right. Just gotta watch out for that. Orange will do it. Orange will give you a better sunsets, especially when you're first learning, because it's easy to get that green because blue's everywhere. A little bit of yellow turns it automatically to green. Let me put my water in here as well. And this will go from blue, and this actually will go to orange as well. Since it is clean, I can probably put a little bit of yellow in there as well. A little bit of yellow. Let's do it on this side. Say the sun's behind these clouds. Still getting some of that sunset color or sunrise. The sun doesn't really rise or set. It's really interesting. Sometimes some of my students don't realize that. It's like, no, the earth spins. It's funny. So I'm putting a little of that orange in there now, that yellow, bring it down, soften that, bring that up. It's all really wet here, a lot of water, or it's controlled water. All right. Hopefully it's not going to dry well if I'm covering it. I think getting some nice things going on here with this one, a little more colorful. A little bit of washing out there. It's all good. Still a little wet. Down here it's drying first. I think I put a lot of water in the sky. I know this is where it needs to be sharp. It really needs to be sharp. I wouldn't do that. So we're gonna go from the bottom up. Right now I would probably go from top down, but this sky is still wet, and I wouldn't really want it to have a sharp edge. So we're gonna go from the bottom up. I don't know if we're gonna put any boats or anything. So water reflects the sky color, so the sky is mostly blue, and then sometimes you get clouds, and it also refracts. Water refracts. So refracts means if something is in it, like a glass of water. Let me see it. So it changes the way the light's coming towards your eye. So it looks, so if my brush was in the cup, the image of the brush inside the water actually moves. And it's all these little things that we know, but we don't really observe sometimes, that gives you that illusion of, kind of like the bottle that I kind of have, the illusion of glass or water. The one I did in my iPad. I won't bring it out. And it's studying that. So let's get now I'm getting a little more blue, a little more intense, and thinking about my waves. Maybe we can look at an image for reference. Water, ocean, and water, because of the oxygen, it mixes with the oxygen, it turns white. There we go. I'm looking at a bunch of ocean scenes. It turns white, like when it hits the shore. We're not going to worry about that today. We're just going to keep it simple, wrap it up. I got a lot of texture in here with that dry brush. I think I might even do that a little bit more of that. And I kind of really like that dry brush. Build it up. Let's see. So I want to go from the top down. Here's my brush. This is a flat brush, and it's already opened up a bit because I've used it with acrylics. So, you know, this brush is still good. I would, I'm gonna put straight blue. Not a lot of water this time. I'm gonna make it pretty thick. And it's knowing the consistencies. That's so important. You know, how much water, how much, you know, and then testing it. Let's test it over here. Actually, we can go darker here. You see, you can see the little, you can't. It's getting a little bit of wet to wet, but you can see the little, because it's, and I'm lightly touching the surface, you can see kind of the grain there. And that grain is good for that texture for the ocean, especially from a distance, the waves at a distance. It should be getting lighter though. I'd probably mix a little more water as I get in there. Gets lighter as it goes up. Little atmospheric dissonance. I like saying that word. Let's try a little bit more texture in here. Just on top. This is a good way to shade as well. I do a lot of shading this way, even with acrylics. Get that dry brush and just let's see it. Maybe even getting some wave patterns. Because it should be going from dark to light. The distance down here is dark. And there are little patterns of dark as the waves ripple through. We're not reflecting anything. We're just kind of like doing these little waves. But I'm trying to aim for is getting it lighter as it goes back. Oh, there's another art show. I actually have to get tickets. There's going to be an art show, LA Art Show this weekend. If you go to Gold Star, you get half off on your tickets. I need to buy some of those tickets. I think we're going to go on Saturday. All right, let's get it lighter. Okay, and the brush itself is actually getting lighter on its own because a lot of the paint is coming out of it. Oops. Let's move it out. Oops. Mostly water now. You can go back in there with the water and deepen it up. You can deepen the paint. All right, now I'm going to go back with my sable brush. This one, it's a little small, but it's good. Same blue. It does go from dark to light. Now I'm going to do some more of these wave. They're kind of like these shapes. I'm going to exaggerate a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about here. I wouldn't go this dark, but it's these shapes that are kind of like football, elongated footballs like that. I'm going to do that, exaggerate that one so you can see it. Now I'm just going to go lighter with them and put them everywhere. And more water. And think of perspective. Things that are lower are bigger. Things that are further back are smaller. We already have a lot of the texture in there. So just some of these wave patterns. You can get lost in this. And it should go lighter as it goes higher up as well. No more water. Lighten it up. See, this is where I can actually, this is, here it's lighter. And I can grab some of this paint and bring it over because I know it's puddling. And I can see what's happening. You kind of have to be observant what's happening. Okay, and there, spread this one out a little bit more. Make sure it's lightening up as it goes further back. A little more water. As it goes back. I'll lighten this one up. I can use that paint from here, bring it out. That you've seen it. It's good to look at pictures, reference material. As it goes higher up, it gets smaller. Even a little more dry brush. Maybe even just don't even worry about the shapes, just kind of get little lines back here. You can soften some stuff up. Let's put some more. If you were to draw other things, how they interact with the water, like a boat, you would do the reflections, you would do all that other stuff. Try to get these patterns and the perspective. I'm just going to go with water and soften some of this stuff up, soften some of these areas. I'm just going with the water in here, soften it up a little bit. Make some of the areas, try not to get rid of all the darkness and soften some of the bottoms. So they go in here, put some more, go back. Try to keep them small. Should do a ship. Uh-oh, too dark. Well, I might have to do a ship. Happy little accidents. They're too dark. Trying to pull it out. It's all good. All right. Okay. I think that's pretty good. We're gonna add a little bit of interest with the mountains in the background, the little islands in the background, and then we'll call it a night. So I'm gonna use blue and then my blue and add a little bit of green to it. A little bit of yellow, a little bit of green. I already had some of that yellow from that other. And I'm gonna go light. I'm gonna go really light. Because there's gonna be different layers of mountains back here. Let's start from the middle and kind of just because of the atmospheric dissonance, we should go a little bit lighter. More water, I just added more water. Just quick little mountain range there. I'm not going too high because I'm afraid it's still wet. I don't know, it's maybe just looks wet now. Should be dry. I'm gonna bring it down just in case. And how low you go is up to you if you want to actually bring these islands further down here, that's fine. There's that one. I like a little more character. You can probably put some islands on this side as well, but let that dry. Here we don't have to worry too much. I can automatically go a little bit darker now. A little more blue. There we go. And then we'll go in. And put another layer, like mountain or hill back here. Maybe not so soon. I'm not really looking at any reference material, but just like trees and mountains. A little bit darker. I'm gonna go really light though. I want to add a little light mountain range back here. I'm trying to get it really light. Water. Losing it. See if I can, no, see if I can rub it out. No, I lost it. That's all right. There you go. All right, we'll call it a night. It's 9:08. I'm looking at pictures, some more clouds and more stuff. You can really play with those shapes, colors, or maybe do a ship. I'll probably do a ship in there. Or go darker here. This is a little flat. Let's go a little darker. Full color tonight. Just a little bit. Yeah, you can go in here. Still a little darker. All right. Keep it light there as it goes out. I didn't get a nice shape like I wanted in here for that. This paper's not cooperating as well, as much as I'd like. All right. All right, we'll call it a night. Call it an evening. We'll see what we'll paint next week. If we paint, if you'd like something else, you can. I don't know. Maybe even try acrylics. That's my forte. But yeah, we got some really nice textures in here. Let me zoom in. Somebody would like to share their work, see what you got. It's probably better than mine. But no, it's got some really nice textures the texture and the feeling of the water and the waves in there. Try to keep some of the white for the sparkles. You can probably go in there with white acrylic and put little sparkles, little splashes of water. Maybe go darker in there. Yeah, there you go. You can see my little mountain in the background here. Kind of does it. Yeah. See the layers.
Looks really cool.
Thank you. All right, let's see, heading out. Thank you. It's I already read that one. Thank you so much. I really enjoy your teaching. I have also been enjoying the watercoloring. I've never tried acrylics or oils, although my husband has a lot of colors I can use. All right. Get to the husband's stash. Yeah, some of these pictures are really nice. I'm like, wow, you know, if we could copy straight from a picture photograph. Let me share my screen so you can see what I'm talking about. Oh, there it is. These waters here. I kind of use this shape there. There we go. Like, yeah, look at all these shapes and stuff to play with. You can see like here, you can see those shapes that I'm talking about here. And those shapes here, that kind of like there's a little bit more curl to it. A little bit of white. This here. It's just studying this stuff. What you're trying to get this water here. That's kind of like we were aiming for. I didn't even see this picture, but this is kind of like what we were aiming for, or what I was aiming for. Interesting. Oh, these clouds. It's nice too. The reflection, you can see the reflection of that cloud in that. Very nice. All right, hardcore heroes, we're gonna call it a night. If you want to share, would like to share your paintings, you can share before I close shop. If anybody else would like to share. Let's see. Oh, and you wanted me to okay. Oh, all right. Regina, you had your hand up. Okay. All right, let's see. There you go. What you got? All right, there you go. Sweet. Oh, you did the color one too.
That was a lot.
Sorry.
Oh, nice.
And I also did another study.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Very nice. Yeah, you're getting it. All right, cool.
I couldn't quite see it. Sorry. Could you put a audio? Sorry.
It's all right. Regina?
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, wait a
Regina.
minute. Hold on. Yeah, because I'm still sharing. There you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
You really helped me understand the different layers of audio. I don't think I could have done this before that, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then this was the ore one.
Yeah, very nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah, seeing the layers is important. Yeah, very nice.
Water one. I think I did
Wow.
in the back, but oh well.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all practice until it becomes serious. No, it's all good. Very nice. All right.
Awesome, Regina.
At least you had something.
Yeah, I can show you. I only did one. Sorry.
Okay, it's all good.
And
Oh, there you go. Ooh, love those colors though. You really got a nice glow, and then oh yeah, the nice glow.
thanks.
This is a really nice abstract.
Yeah, I didn't realize like with how we were talking about with the water on like the how the shape would actually be. So I was like, cool.
Yeah, that shape.
Thank you. I greatly appreciate it.
You're welcome. All right. Let's call it a night. Good night, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Good night. Thank you so much.
Next week.
Night.
Night. Have a good week.
All right, will do.
See you next time.
All right, bye-bye.